Lincoln here. It's currently about 20 minutes till 11 on Wednesday morning, and this is really the calm before the storm. The eye of the hurricane is expected to hit Charleston here at midnight tonight. So we've had pretty much constant rain yesterday into today, so full day of rain expected. And then on Thursday, certainly we expect some of the trailing bands to pass through Charleston, and then everything should be in good shape on Friday. So it's currently Wednesday morning, about 10 o'clock, and sink. And I wanted to take a run down to the Battery and really King Street, East Bay, and take a look at the conditions there. Currently, the eye of the hurricane is just approaching Valdosta, Georgia, and still packing quite a punch and carrying quite a bit of water. It's a very broad storm. The only good news for Charleston here is that the storm will be approaching from the southwest. So that will help a little bit in terms of some of the water that we would expect normally to come off the Atlantic. In a typical Atlantic storm, the hurricane actually pushes quite a bit of water up into Charleston. And for those of you that are familiar with the city, all it takes is high tide and a heavy rain, and let's say maybe even a supermoon, and the streets are flooded completely. And add on top of that the effects of a hurricane and the additional water that it will bring, it really leads to a bad situation with quite a number of streets flowed, and especially with the downtown area, because the area is so low, and the drainage is not so good, especially in the historic part of the city. So we want to go down and take a look and assess the conditions. I know from a report that I saw yesterday, Mayor Tecklenburg of the city of Charleston has, they've already taken quite a number of measures in terms of distributing sandbags, pre-positioning pumps, and also making sure that the storm drains are clear. So making sure that storm drains are clear are a very critical thing. So even after the water comes up, it really lets the water rapidly evacuate depending on the tides and the other conditions. So the other things that we can expect here in Charleston certainly will be power outages due to the high number of power lines that are located above ground. And also kind of related to that is the trees. So we would expect quite a number of downed trees. As the soil gets saturated, it's really not able to support the root structure of many of the trees, especially given wind and the pressure that creates against those trees. So we do expect quite a bit of that. And with those downed trees, of course, the potential of those trees falling into power lines and creating outages. So high potential of power outages, also potential of tornadoes. So we'll keep an eye out for that, and just the coastal surge. So I will include a couple of those maps, and I'm keeping a close eye on the forecast, and also currently using Windly on my iPad here in my Jeep to try to see what things are looking like, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But anyway, just wanted to give you an update on the way down to downtown Charleston to go to the Battery and definitely looking at East Bay, looking at the conditions already to see what things look like, especially down around the market and some of the other areas. So stay tuned. Also wanted to put a disclaimer in there that I am not a weatherman, so please look at the conditions yourself and make a plan with your family, an emergency evacuation plan. If you're in a low-lying area, certainly please do that. There's lots of really good resources online to look at to develop an emergency plan for your family. Make sure to take adequate food and water supplies, and certainly any medications that you may be on. See some colleagues there at Big John's Tavern actually putting some sandbags out. That's probably a good move to try to prevent the ingress of water into their business. I expect to see a lot more of that as we get further down East Bay. Okay, coming up on Market Street to the right, and actually it looks very good. Market Street is historically one of the streets that floods pretty badly. But at this minute, right now at 10:22 on a Wednesday morning, looking good in advance of Hurricane Idalia. So we're still on East Bay, just past Broad Street. To the right here is the famous Rainbow Row. Again, a lot of tourists out and about, walking up and down. On the left-hand side, just in front of us, is Carolina Yacht Club. And you'll notice off on the right all these beautiful old southern mansions, and these are really famous, a lot of history behind these. So currently located on the Battery here, taking a look at the situation, and the eye of the hurricane is actually directly over Valdosta, Georgia at the minute. So I believe that's really the first time that it has done that. A few people out walking with umbrellas, also news crew behind me. So really anticipating the landfall at about midnight. Again, here's a TV crew. He was set up right behind me there, looking at things, I think looking for folks to interview. And we see one of these beautiful old houses just right across the street here with quite a bit of scaffolding out there. And looks like another house over here under construction, and I think they're probably making preparations for the rain. But currently located here at the Battery, light rain right now, so it's really not too bad. Also the roads, there's really not much accumulation of water on the roads at all, so it's really everything is in good shape at the minute. But as those heavy rains approach Charleston and they get closer and closer, that's when that rain and that water will overcome the handling capacity of all the storm sewers in the city, and you'll start to see an accumulation of water. So really today is really that last opportunity to prepare, to get the supplies that you need. If you're in a low ground, certainly to evacuate from that area and get to a position that is safe. Take whatever food, water, take your pets, and certainly any medication that you may have to make sure that you're in good condition. So again, the eye is going to approach at the eye will be approaching at midnight tonight, approximately. That could change depending on the speed and direction, and how the airstream currents shape the direction of which way it goes. So last time I checked, a little bit ago, the eye of the hurricane was located approximately at Valdosta, Georgia, and it is heading in a northeast direction, which means that the hurricane will be approaching Charleston from a southwest direction, which is pretty unusual, but it's good in the fact that coming from that direction, it will not be pushing a lot of the water in from the Atlantic and from Charleston Harbor, which is off to my right out here in the distance, and creating lots of problems. So the battery area and the seawall has recently been renovated, so it's in fairly good shape, what they call the high battery area, and there's lots of repairs that are going on to the low battery, so it's not yet completed and reinforced yet. So so that's what things look like right now, just basically a misty day, misty, overcast, cloudy, and definitely the you can see the winds moving at a fairly fast pace, which is a little bit unusual to see them moving basically in a westerly direction off to my right, but there you can definitely see the movement of them going this way, which again comes from that that cyclonic movement that is associated with the hurricane and the outer bands of it. So that's all we have at the moment. Again, it's getting close to about 11:15 Wednesday morning here in beautiful Charleston at the Battery. Talk soon. Folks, back in the car after being out on the Battery there, taking a look at things, and I just want to show you quickly what the storm surge forecast looks like. So this is the latest data from National Weather Service. This is from 5 a.m. this morning. So again, it's now almost 11 o'clock, so certainly this is outdated. But for the Charleston area, we're in this 3 to 5 feet band of storm surge, so certainly nothing to laugh at or not take seriously. So that could have a serious effect here in Charleston. So anyway, I just wanted to check that and provide that information for you. Hello friends, Duncan here. Currently about 11 o'clock, and I'm located here at the historic market, and as you can see, everything is fairly empty. None of the vendors are set up today, which is probably a good thing with the impending eye of the hurricane coming to Charleston in just a few hours. So just approximately I guess about 13 hours. So a lot of people are getting prepared for it. little bit of water accumulation here in some of the low-lying areas, and also what you can see is that a lot of the businesses have boarded up with sandbags some of these areas, and also put plastic up to try to prevent any ingress of water into their businesses. So certainly everybody is getting ready and preparing and waiting to see how things develop. But we do expect a full day of rain today, and again, the eye of the hurricane is expected to make landfall at approximately midnight tonight. So a lot of folks are preparing. There's still plenty of time. At the minute, the weather conditions are pretty good. They're not too severe at all. I would just say it's sprinkling, and the temperature is certainly in good condition. But now's the time to get ready. A lot of folks still walking around and doing all their preparations, a lot of these businesses especially. So it's getting close to 12, and I'm heading north, heading back home. And really, I pray for Charleston that all the proper precautions are taken, number one. Number two, I really hope that the storm loses energy along the way to minimize the impact and the amount of water that's brought to Charleston. But thirdly, there's a much more serious concern, and I really sympathize with the people in Florida for everything that they've been through in the past year and the past years, with multiple hurricanes, and certainly with Hurricane Idalia coming on shore, and all of the damages that are going to be done to homes, people that are displaced out of their homes, and businesses, etc., that are completely flooded and lost. And I think about, in the same vein, what has happened with all of the fires in Maui. And it's really a critical situation, and I would really hope and pray that FEMA and the Congress can step up with the proper funding to be able to provide assistance to these people to get back on their feet and really to reestablish their lives post these disasters, whatever that may look like. And that's really a tough situation, especially in the case of Maui. And I'm hearing news reports now that some people in Congress want to tie any aid for hurricane relief or disaster relief. In the case of Maui, they want to tie that to one-to-one funding with Ukraine, and I really strongly feel that those are two completely different issues. I think the situation on our land within the sovereign boundaries of the United States and the citizens of the United States take first priority. And I understand that Senator Tim Scott will be leading some efforts next week to address that and to try to bring that to vote. And so it will be interesting to see where Congress places its priorities with the American people. So definitely would ask your thoughts, prayers, and for the people that have lost their homes and their businesses, but also for the leadership of these great United States to make the right decisions to support our citizens. So anyway, keep your fingers crossed for Charleston and the eventual eyefall of Hurricane Idalia at about midnight tonight. We'll be watching it close, and we'll try to provide a follow-up as time and safety permit. Thanks for watching. As usual, I would really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. That really helps me know that the content that I'm bringing is interesting for you and that you would like to see more of that. Thanks again, and have a good day. Be safe.